as they pulled up to the restaurant, instead of putting their foot on the brake to get into the parking spot, for some reason they like stomped on the gas pedal and they went flying into the subway, like crashing through the door.
Oh my gosh.
Welcome in. Wait a minute, Peter. wait. Who's doing the intro?
You're doing the intro. I just thought I'd sneak one in real quick there.
I got really scared, and now I'm choking.
First is the worst, second's the best.
Welcome
so I got mine in.
Welcome into the Peekly Wheel, the weekly peel. I've been thinking about that for weeks. I don't know why. I always think in my mind, Peekly Wheel.
Nice.
Well, welcome in. I am John.
I am Peter.
We have good old Mr. Murphy with us. Dan.
Hello, everyone.
How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
Is this your fourth time?
Oh man,
No
I've
way.
lost track at this point.
Dude.
It's at least the third.
No, it's definitely because we talked about Pops. We talked about we did a Super Brawl.
My WWE idea.
Oh shoot, and the WWE and the live stream. This is 5, dude.
This is number 5.
Dang.
Am I?
You are the most how do we say this? You've been on more than most guested person.
You just moved up a rank or a tier.
I've heard that.
Dude,
I heard that I'm 2 appearances away from actually taking over the show.
That's what they told me.
The podcasting legend, veteran himself is here with us. Every time, I almost, before this call, like before we started recording, I almost called you like a noob or something along those lines, and I was like, no, wait, he's been podcasting way longer than I have.
Maz and Murph.
True. I will say though, we have officially had more episodes, I think as of like 2 episodes ago, than Maz and Murph did, which is weird to think about.
It's crazy.
The threshold has been passed.
I'm just trying to bury that legacy.
I still miss Maz and Murph. I miss listening to it on drives, and I don't have anything else to like take its place. Like, there's no new podcast, banana-related podcast out there that can fill that void. Yeah,
well, I was gonna say something about it, and I completely blanked. I'm not even gonna lie. so I was on my good old flash drive because I'm weird, and I keep all my photos on a flash drive.
I support that.
Thank you. And I found some good old photos. Actually, one of Dan that sparked a story that I was about to tell right before we started, and I said, you know what? I'll save it for the podcast. So there was a time where I used to have this like water bottle. And this is during college.
No way.
I know, crazy. And it was like I don't know. It was like
getting good.
It was like a flat. Shut up. It was no. I'm just kidding. It was a flat surface. Like it was like kind of like how would you describe the shape of it, Dan?
It was kind of like a elongated semicircle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, that's a good way to put it. It was almost like a canteen.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
but it was like a little bit taller. And so I used to notoriously leave things in Dan's room, like insane stuff. Like I'd leave my keys there, I'd leave my wallet, my shoes. It's just like one day I woke up and my car was gone, and I was freaking out, and because he moved it, I didn't know.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, so he decided to teach me a lesson one day, and I left my water bottle in there. So all of a sudden, like I think it was the next day, and I was like, guys, like,
hold on. Stealing the car was not teaching you.
That was teaching. No, that was teaching.
But the
me
water bottle was over the line.
No, that was teaching me a lesson. I was taught many things. And one day I just left my water bottle in there, and I was like, hey man, like is my water bottle in your room? He's like, it's not here. And then like later, I got a request to join this secret Facebook group with Dan, and it was called Guzzle Gus, right? And I'm like, what is this? So I go on, and I see this picture of my water bottle, like I'm showing it on YouTube, but
it's got like little cutouts.
Yeah, it's got like eyes and a mouth screaming, and he was like, this is the last seen picture. It wasn't that picture exactly. It was like kind of dark and like mysterious looking, and it was like, this is the last seen picture of Guzzle Gus. He's like, so he basically like I had to go on this like long like like a scavenger hunt to find it. And this guy, like, wait, Dan, do you want to take over from here? Actually, I feel like you know what you did better.
Yeah,
the mastermind.
I mean, well, like I put the face on the bottle, and at our college, we had a central building where there was the library and an art gallery. On the second floor, there were like classrooms and a few storage rooms. And the front of that building, there was a lot of like ceiling to floor glass windows. And so I was working security at the college at the time, so I had access to all the storage rooms with the key. And so I took Guzzle Gus, I went into a storage room, and this particular storage room had a full window. And I put Guzzle Gus right in the window, so if you were like standing in front of the building, you could look up onto the second floor and see this little face just in front of all of these like desks and random items just in the storage room. And so that whole night, like, I was just giving John clues about where it was until,
dude,
it
took me hours.
I finally
awesome.
finally showed him where he was. But it was a lot of fun.
You took a bunch of us. Like, you were like, all right, everyone, follow me.
Yeah.
It was like a group, and we all stood in front of the building, and he put his flash. It was dark out. So you put your flashlight, your big security, high-powered flashlight, and whoop, they revealed him. And, yes, it was I don't think I ever left my water bottle in there again.
Guzzle Gus has
actually,
been found.
I probably did.
I don't like Dan. I don't know you that well, but I just feel like you have this innate ability to rally people around you and like whatever random weird thing you're doing. Like that is honestly such a gift. Like, I love you.
Thanks, bro. I love you too. I love you too.
Hey, come on. The guy's getting married in 2 weeks. Come on.
Just shooting my shot before.
Yeah, well, actually, a week from today, when this episode comes out, you will be getting married.
A week from today?
A week from when this podcast drops. So when this episode's live and the peelers
I see what you're saying.
7 days later, you will be a married man.
Yes, sir. I will be
Dadgum.
Mr. Caitlin.
Can't wait.
It's good.
So, all right. Peter, why don't you tell us what we're talking about today?
Today, we are talking about the hotly debated topic of the best fast food locations. So we each, I believe, have a list, a short list of what our top 3 fast food locations franchises are. Yeah. And we're going to put them head to head and see what our listeners think afterward.
I would like to ask Dan, do you have a list of 3? Because I vaguely texted you and was like, hey, we're going to be ranking fast food.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be on the spot. However, this isn't like a new thought for me. I have a list in my head. I would just say one criteria that I'd want clarified. Are we talking like just any fast food, or are we talking about like a specific category of fast food?
It has to be edible.
So
I feel like if it has a drive-through,
that's what I was like. Okay, we're all on the same page.
Come on.
All right,
yes.
We can do that.
Because I looked up some.
No.
Does that change your list? Okay.
No, we're good.
I looked up some images of, or like a bunch of like different like logos of fast food joints, and there was like all these things on there that I would not consider fast food, like Buffalo Wild Wings.
That's not fast food.
And like some other random, and I was like, this is not what? You gotta be in there for like an hour.
Mm-hmm.
What's that all-you-can-eat steak place that was on there? No.
Fine dining. So we're gonna get into it. I am gonna volunteer Dan to go first with his first draft. And this is a draft, right? So like, if Dan, if one of us takes your thing, then you have to draft another one.
Okay. All right.
I know this whole draft concept is pretty new to you, so I'm just laying it out.
Yeah. Have you ever done a draft on a podcast before, Dan?
No, it's definitely my first time. Okay.
Super original to the peel. So yeah, go ahead.
So I'm giving my first draft pick right now.
Okay.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Top down. I guess that makes sense.
Okay. First draft pick.
So is this number 1 or number 3?
That would make sense, so that people don't take your number 1.
All right.
Okay. All right.
What if we don't do a draft style?
Dang it.
You can really tell that we discussed this.
Yes, this is very, very well planned.
We'll each list our top 3.
Okay.
And
All
if they match, they match.
So do you want me to
Alright.
start with my number 3 then?
Number 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So my number 3 is going to be Subway.
Ooh. You have-
Wow.
Oh yeah.
I have a hilarious. Well, you have a hilarious story that I don't think we can tell on the podcast about Subway.
Wowza.
unless you can use your discernment.
Me?
You should.
Blank
Yes,
stare.
yeah. You did.
He's really playing some
Somebody
mental
you
chess
know.
right now.
Somebody you know. And
Oh, he doesn't
Subway.
remember it?
Dude, there's no way you don't remember this,
Wait.
Dan. I can't say who it's about. It's somebody you know. Something crazy happened at a Subway.
Oh,
Why don't you tell the story?
I don't think I can.
Oh, you know what? It's old. It's under the bridge, so I don't feel bad.
Oh, praise God.
So I'll just say someone related to me was a teenager in high school, and they were going with our father to pick up some Subway for the family. And this
that doesn't narrow it down.
this individual, I think they had their permit at the time, so they were a new driver. This person was driving.
How many siblings do you have, Dan?
And basically, as they pulled up to the restaurant, instead of putting their foot on the brake to get into the parking spot, for some reason they stomped on the gas pedal, and they went flying into the Subway, crashing through the door.
Oh my gosh.
And so that was a whole thing, but there was pictures of this car stuck in the Subway door, and someone had created a meme out of it, and it said girl was so hungry she made her own drive-through. And so it was just
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
So yeah, that's my
I
number
love
3.
that. I think I saw that. You'd show me the picture when it happened.
Yeah.
And then later I saw the meme
Yeah.
from somebody that didn't know you, or I didn't even know them. And it was just some random meme account. And I was like, hey, I know this car.
Yep. Yep.
Oh,
That's
it's so
it.
fantastic.
I love that.
All right, Peter, what do you got?
I got for my number 3, believe it or not, I have Sonic.
Dude, wow.
Drive-through and drive-in.
Ooh.
Sonic is I honestly, top down, when I started this, I would not have expected that I would put Sonic at number 3. But I'm kind of going in my list not just for the taste of the food. I'm looking at the whole experience, and I feel like Sonic has something unique. While maybe their food isn't at the quality of X, Y, and Z, but the whole experience of Sonic is it feels like a great experience. I don't like that their food that much. Nothing about it stands out to me that much, but I still
It sucks.
I want to go park at a Sonic and
Dude.
have somebody bring my food to me on rollerblades. You can't beat that.
I
You
feel
know?
that.
So that's why it earned, if their food was cream of the crop, then they would definitely be number 1, but they're at number 3.
Dude, they have their good old happy hour with their milkshakes and drinks and stuff. They're smoothies. And they also, the one near me I can't go to anymore because I found out that it fails the health thing every time.
No.
It barely stays open.
Oh no. I will say though, for Sonic, I have not been there probably in the last 5 years that I can recall.
It's so good.
Maybe their food is amazing. I don't remember though.
Don't you think it's weird though? Imagine you're in high school and you need a job, and you go to this place and they say one of their requirements is you need to know how to roller skate. Don't you think that's
You learn on
that's
the job.
cruel and
bro.
unusual? I can't
Cruel and
I can't understand how you'd require that of someone.
Okay, do you know how to roller skate?
Yes, I do.
Oh, okay. I thought that maybe this is some bitter thing hidden
No.
away.
I just feel like
When I was 3.
it's very mean.
Wow.
Wow.
Well, what about not to I hope this doesn't ruin anybody's picks, but what about Chipotle? You have to learn how to fold a burrito. So it's like, why can't you just learn to skate? It's the same
Bro,
thing.
I don't think you can, like, there's less of a chance that you're gonna slip and crack your skull making a burrito
I don't know, dude.
than skating around delivering food.
I guess you're right.
Last thing I'll say about Sonic, I feel like it's the closest thing that we have to a true 50s experience
Yes.
in the modern day.
That's fair.
Yes.
And there's just something cool about it that you don't get anywhere else.
That's fair.
Don't get anywhere
Salmonella. No. That's just mine. That's just my Sonic, though. I like that. I can respect those picks. Let's see. I'm going to go for my third pick, and I would say this isn't like a nationally acclaimed fast food chain, if that makes sense. Nationwide, I guess would be better to say. But I'm gonna go with Steak and Shake, which if you have had the great pleasure of eating there, then you understand. Like, this is the only reason it's not number one is because it's just not like. It's just not as common, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like, oh, fast food, and that's what you think of, like, immediately. But they have amazing milkshakes, fantastic burgers. Their fries are very similar to, like, the McDonald's cut, but I think they're a little bit better than McDonald's. I would say they taste a little bit more real, and their options are just fantastic.
They're options, bro. Tell me about those options.
You got like Nutella milkshakes. You got Oreo. Oh yeah, you got like Heath Bar, Kit Kat, and there's like a list of like 20 or so different milkshakes you can choose from. There's like tons of different burgers, probably about 20 different burgers you can choose from. And I spent a week in Florida one time. Peter was there, where we ate Steak and Shake. I would say 5 times a day. No, it wasn't that much, but it felt like it. It was every day we were eating Steak and Shake.
It was a pretty great experience. After coming off of that, I was like we had Steak and Shake fever.
Yeah, we got back to Maryland and we drove to the closest Steak and Shake like an hour away.
I've never had it.
It was a good time.
You never had it?
No, I've heard only good things about it. I know I'm missing out.
Yeah, maybe
you deserve to try it. It's definitely a southern thing, so you can't find them that well, where you are and where we are, but there is one in where I went to college in Lynchburg, and I will say nobody wanted to go there.
Oh,
and
really?
I the couple of times that I did go, it didn't hold up as much for me.
Really?
Surprised, and I was very surprised, and honestly, I was very disappointed because I remembered that from high school being such like a high moment.
Yes.
Like, oh, Steak and Shake, we found this glorious restaurant chain, but it closed because nobody would go to it.
Dang.
Which was so sad.
You can't hold that against Steak and Shake. Just that one location.
That's true. That does play a very big part in, I think, how good a restaurant or fast food places run location to location. Like, if you get, I remember growing up, Burger King was one of my favorites. That's not on my
dude,
not
Burger
on
King
my list anymore.
It's on my. I would say Burger King might be the bottom of my worst. Like,
it's like D tier.
It's so bad. Wait,
I
Dan,
remember
are
when
you gonna choose it, Dan?
It's not on my list, but it's not that bad.
Dude,
I'd say
disgusting.
it's like it's C or D tier now. But I remember when I was a kid and I had my first Whopper, I was like floored. I was like, oh, this flame. I was like, this is my thing now. I made Burger King my thing. And then when I got a little older, I went to another one that we had across town, and it was trash.
Are you talking about the one near my house?
Actually, that one was pretty good.
Okay.
I'm talking about the one in by the church.
Okay. This literally means nothing to anyone except for you and me, Peter. I just had to know.
But that one has never been good. Like they don't even put any effort into it. But if you put effort into a Burger King Whopper, it's gonna taste amazing. But that's a problem with some of these locations. I think this is a problem across the board with, franchises, but they don't always hold up.
That's funny.
Spiel over.
All right, Dan, what's your second one? Or did you have something to say about Burger King?
Oh, I would say that, it's a problem across just all of these franchises because everyone's different.
Raising awareness.
Yeah, it's definitely something that needs to go more public.
Yeah,
but I think Burger King
should start an organization, raise some money.
Burger King's burgers I always thought were very good, especially the Whopper. I was honestly a fan of the Impossible Whopper when it came out. I thought that was good.
I did like that.
It's good. It's very
like
good.
that.
Their fries, very average, but I can understand where you're coming from. One thing that people don't like is the Whopper, their signature sandwich, has mayo, but it doesn't usually come with cheese. You have to specifically ask if you can have cheese on it. So,
dude,
That's
like,
weird.
is
I never
this
thought
a
about that.
third world country? Like, what are we doing? This is insane.
I'm not asking for cheese anymore. You know.
you know what's supposed to be on here.
It's a requirement. Yeah, I would say the only things I like from Burger King are the Impossible Whoppers are pretty good. Their new sandwich that tries to be like Chick-Fil-A, it's not terrible.
What's it called? The Chick-King?
Probably.
Chick-King?
I have no idea.
I think that's what it is.
Chick-King?
The Chick-King.
Yeah, I think you're right. And I like no, don't hear what I'm not saying. I like the price of their chicken nuggets. I don't. That's it.
Sometimes that's
just,
key.
you can get like 20 for $1. You know.
Wow.
And that's what I like. They taste like trash.
But then the regret that comes after.
Yeah. So.
Is it worth it?
Yeah. I stand by what I said. I hate Burger King.
Fair. All right, who's up?
Dan.
My number
Dan's up.
2, perhaps the greatest business in all the world. Them golden arches.
Oh.
Whoa.
McDonald's,
dude.
number 2.
Daggum.
And I will say this. In college, I actually grew to resent McDonald's. I remember growing up, McDonald's was like a treat. We didn't have it a lot, so when we got it, it was like a big deal. And I'd get the number 12, which was a chicken bacon ranch club, and I loved it. Loved the fries.
How old were you?
I was like 10, but it was
Pedro, can I get
so
the club,
good.
please?
And I remember one time, sophomore year of college, going through the drive-thru and like treating myself to like a proper meal, you know. And I was so disappointed. And the other thing I had noticed too, McDonald's used to be like the cheap, affordable fast food. They really jacked up their prices to where it's like, I can either go to McDonald's and get a burger meal that's like between $12 and $15, or I can go to like an actual restaurant and get a better burger for like a few dollars more. But
it's true.
It is going to be a number 2 for me, because no matter where you go, no matter how old you get, you will always remember what McDonald's food tastes like. You can taste their fries, you know it's from McDonald's.
This is like inspiration.
Their burger, their McChicken, their milkshake, even their Diet Coke is so good, so much better than most other places. And so while it definitely has a dirty, nasty reputation, the reality is it's a necessary evil that we can't live without. And that's why McDonald's is number 2.
Dude, I love that. When you said the Diet Coke, we used to have our
yeah,
Mass and Murph. We used to have our business meetings in McDonald's, and we'd sit down with Diet Cokes.
Yes.
Yep.
Dude,
No lids though. Remember?
No lids. Dude, I would say McDonald's it's very interesting. I didn't realize. So this is like, maybe we'll get into this in a minute, but I'm gonna give you guys my fact. I have a couple facts about fast food stuff that's like really wild. This might blow your guys' mind. McDonald's invented the chicken nugget.
Really?
There was no such thing as a chicken nugget before McDonald's like rolled it out.
Wow.
Nothing. Like this wasn't like, it wasn't popular. The chicken nugget did not exist. Those words together never happened before McDonald's. They invented the chicken nugget because it's not they basically just took a bunch of scraps of a chicken and just like that was edible, put it all together and fried it. And they just came up with the word nugget. It's insane.
Oh.
They invented the word nugget in tandem with chicken. Well, for my next pick, I would say You know what's better than inventing chicken nuggets?
No,
inventing the chicken
no,
sandwich.
no.
Chick-fil-A is my number
No,
2. You can
dude.
still pick it, my guy. But
Oh, I thought this was a draft. I forgot.
no, we'll make it clean this time. Chick-fil-A. I mean, what is there to say about them? Everybody, I think, has the same opinion of their food, that it is sublime.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Can you define that word for me?
Sublime. Dan knows what sublime means. Look at his face.
Is it great or is it not great?
It's great.
Okay,
It
I
is
thought it was,
amazing.
but the way you said
is
it,
near
the way
perfection.
you're like, it's sublime. So I didn't know.
Little
Like that's why I was a little.
sublime,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's why I was a little confused. Okay, making sure we're on the same page.
It's incredible. Their service unmatched. Cleanliness,
Next to godliness.
amen. And you just feel like you've done something good every time that you go and order from there. Like I did something proactive and productive with my life today, and I accomplished something.
You went to Chick-Fil-A.
And I went to Chick-fil-A today.
Okay.
And that's, I mean, what is there to say? It's an amazing, like, what more do you want than that basic original chicken sandwich? It stands the test of time.
That's true.
I like the deluxe spicy, frankly. So maybe that's what I would want more. But
you just what could you want more other than the deluxe, of course,
or some of the other menu items, yeah.
I would like to say what I would like more, and that is Popeyes. Not that I'm not drafting Popeyes; they're terrible, but their sandwich,
Wow.
their sandwich. I got to be honest with you, I didn't want it to be true, but I like it better than Chick-fil-A.
You know what doesn't like Popeyes? Every internal organ I have that just rejects the food from my body.
Are you okay?
Multiple. I love the Popeyes chicken sandwich, but it does not love me back. And I'll just leave it at that.
So when our youth pastor, when we were in high school, he came, or like our youth pastor, me and Peter, he came. I think were we like 9th or 10th grade when he came, something like that. I don't know. Yeah, we'll just say that. Well, I guess and I've heard this story never from him or any of the staff members, but I've just heard it through the grapevine that he was like, when he first got there, he was like, "Oh, we should all go to Popeyes," because I guess they were all gonna go to lunch together, and they let him choose, the staff. And our pastor was like, "Oh, I've never had it before," and so he went. And the next day, he ended up in the hospital.
What?
And that's all. That's the
wild.
only thing I've ever heard. It's probably not related, but just the thought of let's go to Popeyes and it hospitalizes somebody.
Wait, he or the lead pastor?
The lead pastor.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's
So that
wild.
it just yep.
He's like, "Oh, you're gonna love it." Cuts to an ambulance.
Yes, dude. But I would say I'm a little ticked off that I can still take it, but I don't want to. I want to change it up. I want to be different. But Peter, that is a
All right.
fantastic pick. It is. Even though I do have to say Popeyes has the better chicken sandwich, Chick-fil-A would probably be my number one choice for fast food chain.
Are you ever worried about somebody punching you in the face while you're in Chick-fil-A? I don't think
No.
I don't think so.
No.
And that's the edge it has over Popeyes.
Yeah, that's true. Dude, the first time I went to Popeyes to get a chicken sandwich, I waited 2.5 hours. I was late to work, and I opened the bag, and it didn't have my food in it.
What was in it?
I never even... It was other people's food that I ordered
Oh,
for,
I
but
see.
not mine.
I'm trying to imagine
terrible.
them handing you a paper bag with nothing in it, and then only after the fact being like, "Oh my gosh, there's no food in it."
Get home, I get all excited, I sit down at the table, I open it up. It's
You're
empty.
you're holding it. There's clearly no weight to it. You still drive away.
That makes sense.
It was the one near our school, Dan.
I love it.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
excited to hear what your actual number 2 is then. I mean, you still can pick Chick-fil-A. It's still up there.
No. I reject. I fully reject that. I am going to choose. Actually, this was my second pick. I almost forgot it. The queen of fast food, Wendy's. Dude, bro, growing up, I was the same thing. McDonald's was a treat. There was no I want to go to Wendy's. But then one day, 'Cause I think I went there once or twice when I was younger. There was one across from our church that shut down because it was just terrible. But that was that was awful. We don't speak of that. But I would say in college is when I realized my deep love for Wendy's because the 4 for $4 is
The 4 for $4,
dude, is probably the greatest gift to man.
It's the best thing since sliced bread.
The best.
there's no two ways around
The
it.
best thing.
Oh,
better than sliced bread.
Since
No,
yes.
I love Wendy's. That's all I'm gonna. Their Frosties, their fries, everything.
I went through the same thing as you, John. Like, it wasn't until college that Wendy's became such a big part of my life. But the 4 for $4 obviously was this incredible deal. Like, for $4.23 or 27 cents, you could
23.
get.
Depends on your state.
Jeez, Peter, leave economics out of this. Thank you.
You'd get a burger.
Don't steal our
A
memories.
Peter
small
will be back
fry,
with more finance tips.
Oh my gosh.
chicken nuggets, sauce, and a drink. But if you go there now and get a 4 for $4, it is a shell of its old self.
Right?
You're not getting a
Really?
small fry. You're getting like the tiniest little.
Oh, yeah.
It's not a real size fry. It's like a 4 for $4
Micro
size
fry.
fry, and it's more money too. So I would say
Fry Nano.
They just took one fry, they cut it, and they fried those little pieces.
the crumbs.
Do you remember when they told everyone the 4 for $4 was gonna go away
Yeah.
forever?
Yep.
And we believed them.
Everyone was lining up to get their last 4 for $4, only to be shocked by its actual continued existence.
Yeah, a week later.
What a great pick.
Yeah,
Wendy's.
I would say I haven't had a 4 for $4 since college, maybe once. I think
know,
actually
right?
only once, but I love it. I'm sad to hear that it's a shell, but it was once a great piece of existence.
It's so sad when you revisit those things that you loved as a broke college student, and then you're like, I can afford to spend $2 more and get something
Yeah.
nicer.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, for sure. All right, Dan, what is your number one?
My number one, and I do have an interesting bit of information with this. Number
Okay.
one pick, fast food, Taco Bell. That is number
I forgot
one.
about it.
Number
Wow.
one.
Are your
You went
insides
with all
okay?
the classics.
Bro, I think that's what's best. Everything else is just a cheap knockoff or a slightly improved knockoff. So
do you have like have you ever had your bowels replaced by something like made of steel? Just out of curiosity.
no, dude, I can just tolerate it. It's so good. One thing I learned about it was it's actually now it changed ownership a few times, and there was a few different like iterations before it became the what it is today. But it actually originated in the same town where the first McDonald's was, over in San Bernardino, California, I think it was.
Yeah.
And at that time, like, Mexican food in the United States was not popular. And I don't mean to say that Taco Bell is authentic Mexican food. Please don't misunderstand
That's
me.
what you mean. I
No,
know that's what you mean,
Bro,
dude.
please don't bring me into this. Please. But like,
I'm begging
if you listen to the founder, he'll talk about like people didn't know what a taco was. They'd come up to the store and be like, "What's a taco?" So Taco Bell has played a big role in kind of introducing that genre of food to our country. So we are we owe them. We owe Taco
Dude.
Bell for everything we know and love.
Wow. Praise
Oh
God.
my gosh.
I'm so touched. I'm so inspired. I'm gonna go get some tacos now.
Amen.
So Dan had Subway, number 3, McDonald's 2, and number 1 was Taco Bell.
Dude,
Those are all very, very classic.
They are.
Yeah.
And let me interject something. So the same kind of thing with the way that tacos, apparently like nobody knew what that is, which is weird to think, like nobody knew what a taco was. The same thing happened with pizza. So They like people didn't
You
know.
have so many facts,
Dude. You know what's funny is I didn't do any research. These are just floating around in my mind.
That's amazing.
They're real. They're real. I'm not just making them up. I watch a lot of like History Channel. History Channel. They have like Foods That Built America.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like where a lot of these like actually this is where all my facts came from, I think. And they apparently pizza was like this foreign dish that people were like, what in the world is this? Like, and I think it was Pizza Hut and Domino's started around the same time. They were like the first pizza in America, and there was like articles written like, you know, this new foreign dish, you know, pizza, and they're like describing what it is, and they're like it's a bread with some that's very thin with cheese and sauce. And like it's just so weird to think about these things were like these like exotic things.
I have kind of a I like that Steak and Shake was on your list, Maz, because it's more of like a not as well known option.
Yes.
So I'm gonna go with one of those two for my number one.
If you say Carl Jr.'s, you're done.
And I have no. I don't even hardly know what that is.
I know you're gonna pick.
I'm going to pick A&W.
Oh, okay.
A&W. My guys, this is one of the classiest fast food places. That being said, I have only been to 2, maybe 1 in my life, but it was an incredible experience.
Was I there?
No, it was like in Canada or something.
Oh gosh.
That was like a Michael Scott. Oh gosh.
Toby, no, to be honest, let me just say something. I am anti-Canada. No, I'm not. I'm just kidding. Peter's Canadian, so sorry.
That was all you had to say. Okay. A&W is so magical. It is based off of the A&W root beer that we all know and love. What's funny is that the fast food, I don't know which came first, the drink or the fast food place, but
the egg.
Fast food place is not well known. Or the egg. That really got me. But because the root beer is like their thing, when you order a root beer at an A&W, keep in mind, this is a fast food place. It's unreal, and they bring it to you in a frosted mug.
Dude, frosted mug is the best.
It's the best. So they keep them in the fridge, just like, you know, chilled and ready for you. And the food was amazing too. So it also kind of had that 50s vibe that Sonic sort of has. And there's something about that I just love. It just feels like a classic. And if you haven't tried an A&W, that doesn't surprise me, but because there are not many out there, but they are amazing. If you ever get a chance to if you see one and are hungry, stop by.
Wow.
I was able to go to one. There's one in Cape Cod, Massachusetts, and I went. I didn't have the food, so I can't speak on behalf of that, but I did order a root beer, and it was not like this exceptionally wonderful root beer, but the presentation was just so special that it's noteworthy for sure.
Right. So you went there and just got a root beer.
Well, I didn't go there for that reason. I was down the Cape doing something else, but I saw it and I was like, oh, I didn't know these existed. So I said, I've got to have a root beer. And it was a special time for me. I was by myself.
That's awesome.
Treated myself.
Cool.
So,
Maz?
Well, my number one pick is going to be Hardee's. No, I'm just kidding. Hardee's is trash. It's the same thing as Carl Jr.'s.
It does not get worse than Hardee's.
So bad.
I will stand by
it's
that.
So bad. I actually didn't want to choose this because Peter brought it up, but I had to because it was on my list, and it's the only one that I couldn't think of a backup. It's Chick-Fil-A.
Sonic.
Oh.
Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, Chick-fil-A. Again, I don't think they have the best chicken sandwich ever, and I wish they did. And it's the second best. I will say that I've tried a lot of chicken sandwiches. I love chicken sandwiches, and they are the second best. Their Chick-fil-A sauce is unbelievable. Their fries, unbelievable. Dude, their ice, you know what I'm talking about. If you guys, like the ice, it's like the chewy ice, is, you know, Peter, don't laugh, you know. Maybe you don't, I don't know. have you ever tried their ice, like just like the chewy?
Not really.
It's like intentionally crunch, like you can chew it. Like it's so good.
Nice.
I don't know, maybe, I'm not a dentist though. I'm not a dentist. But I'm not a dentist, but I do recommend it. And I would say everything, like just their cookies, the rest of their menu, amazing. Their service, fantastic. I've never waited more than probably 8 minutes at a Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
There is no place I would rather go eat, especially like if I'm going to sit down in somewhere for fast food, than Chick-fil-A. Praise the Lord.
I feel a peace come over me when I'm in there.
I love like the Christian music they have playing secretly in the background because it's instrumental. It just makes me feel so good, you know?
I will add to what I just said. If there's like 100 people in there, I do not feel peaceful. If there, but a Chick-fil-A with like 5-10 people in there is a different experience. I love it.
Yes.
It's like the place you want to go for like a coffee in the morning and do your meetings.
Yes. I don't think I've ever actually had their coffee, so I don't know about that.
It's good.
Is it?
I like it.
Good.
Yeah.
I wasn't even too sure they had coffee, so I was a little confused why you said that. But yeah, their breakfast is also very underrated. Very underrated.
I just realized I forgot to say a fact that I had about A&W.
How dare you?
When it was my turn. Do you mind if I go back, or do you have
Of course,
something else?
go for it.
So, back in like the 60s, I think. I'm kind of just throwing that year out there. Yeah. Okay. So 1980s. In the 1980s, the quarter pounder burger was like a big thing. Whether it was like McDonald's or one of these other places, it was just like that was like the big ticket item, because it was like, oh man, like you're getting like a portion of like a pound of meat, you know? So it was like, it sounded cool. So A&W came out with their own marketing scheme to top that, and they came out with a third pounder, which is more,
wow.
right?
Dude.
So it's like they stepped it up.
That's funny.
The only problem was that most Americans didn't realize how fractions work, and so it sounded to them like it was less. Like 3 is less than 4. So like 1 over a quarter pounder versus a third
Dude,
pounder.
that
It's
is
like, well,
so
give me the
fun.
quarter pounder,
Give me the
baby.
quarter,
Like,
baby.
so it completely flopped,
Ugh.
mainly because people didn't understand fractions.
Good Lord.
Americans. Gotta
So
love
A&W, you know, they got it where it counts, though. They got that root beer.
Dude, I want to go. I got to go there now. I've never been there. You know.
I got to look up where there's one near me.
Yeah, I don't think there's one near me, but I'll find one eventually.
Yeah.
So, Dan, I would like to ask you a question. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? How much money do you make? No, what is? Trying to think of something really personal. That's all that came to mind. No. What are your thoughts on Little Caesars?
Dude, my thoughts on Little Caesars.
Which is like fast food pizza,
All right.
let's be honest.
It is fast food
It's
pizza.
literally, yeah.
It is. I think if we're having a conversation about pizza, it's not going to be average. It's going to be below average, and that's where it belongs. But at the end of the day, and again, like I mentioned with McDonald's, and I'd say the same thing for Chick-fil-A, like it is going to be a very distinct flavor. I can only go to Little Caesars and get a Little Caesars pizza. There's no one else replicating that exact flavor. There's no one replicating
thank the
that
Lord.
experience. Come on, bro. But I would say I love... Oh, I know why you're asking me this, bro. Dude, I would go to Little Caesars, get a large cheese, and eat the whole thing by myself. It is
Dude,
so
and
good.
what would you drink with it, bro?
Dude. There was one specific time I think I had like a gallon of milk and a large cheese. So it's not a good pizza, but by itself, not standing next to other pizzas, it's so good.
I think didn't we almost get robbed in a Little Caesars too? Remember there was one night where like some really sketchy stuff was going on and we were there, and because the Little Caesars near our college was like the sketchiest place in the world.
Maybe the Popeyes guys came over.
Oh, that's what it was. They showed up and they're like, "Hey man, you want some chicken?" I don't know. So well, and Peter, I'm surprised you didn't choose Cookout. And I'm thankful.
Cookout.
Thankful.
Good.
Oh,
No,
dang.
guys, I'm gonna be honest. I think Cookout is one of the most overrated like places ever.
Bro, there's no way.
Yeah, it probably would not have made my list looking back.
That's right.
But I didn't think of that one.
All right, are you gentlemen ready to say some thank yous?
Let's do it.
What?
Oh, did we not? So we do a
You've
thing.
done thank yous, right?
Yeah, right?
No,
Or
I've
it's
never
like
done
a
thank
thing-
yous.
Oh,
Think-
he'll get the gist of it. Don't even explain it.
Okay.
Okay.
And we'll leave this in too. I would like to say thank you to Dan Murphy for giving my water bottle life, naming him Guzzle Gus, and setting me on the journey of a lifetime.
Mm.
I would like to thank the average American for not realizing that a third is larger than a fourth.
Mm. I would like to say thank you. I would like to say thank you to Ray Kroc, the founder of McDonald's, for bringing obesity to our lands.
I would also like to thank Ray Kroc for not actually finding I don't know, McDonald's.
Oh, you saw the movie.
Fantastic movie. I'd like to thank the founder movie.
I would like to thank our boys in yellow, those fearless Sonic drive-through workers that come to us on rollerblades.
Yes.
I would like to say thank you to Chevrolet for making this the best podcast I've ever been a part of.
I would like to say thank you to the subway that someone in Dan's family crashed into. I hope you recovered. And I'd like to thank you, the listeners. We'll see you next week. Dude, I'm so sorry. I thought you knew about thank yous.
You rolled with that so well, though.